I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel. Our veterans are so very important to us. Today we're going to learn about an organization that provides support, referral sources, and honor to those who have given so much for our country. Embracing Our Veterans is a nonprofit referral program that provides the means to help veterans and their families receive services they may not otherwise qualify for through traditional means. Their referral source is comprised of a large and ever-growing network of businesses, organizations, and individuals who can provide their services or product at little or discounted cost. Joining us on the program to tell us about Embrace Our Veterans, we have actually one of the co-founders. We have Tina Schiefelbein.
Correct.
Okay, she is one of the co-founders. And next to Tina, we have Kelly Renninger. Kelly is with AmeriCorps. You're the AmeriCorps Vista Coordinator. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you are now on board with Embrace Our Veterans.
I am.
Okay. First off, you know what, Tina? I would say many of our viewers are not aware of your organization. So if you can give us like a little backstory, a little history, how did this come to be?
Well, several years ago, I worked with a woman that was phenomenal at Community Resources for Independence. Her name was Beverly Davis Miyako. And we had a vision, actually in the health care side of things, to help people that were low income. And we noticed that there were a lot of veterans in that group that could not afford certain health care. So we stepped out. And then as the program went on, we noticed that there were more needs for veterans than just the health care. Unfortunately, we lost Beverly Davis Miyako a few years ago to health issues, but I was blessed to be introduced to Kim Lenling of Crawford. She is a United States Air Force veteran, and with her expertise and both of our passion to help veterans, we became the Embracing Our Veterans 501c3 organization.
Okay, and now you and Kim were the founders.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And how long ago was this?
We're going into a little over 2.5 years now.
I think this is a great organization. I've been doing a little bit of research and reading on it also, Tina, and there are many organizations that do work with our veterans, but each one seems to specialize in one specific area.
Yes,
and we're going to find out how you sort of have opened that umbrella a little bit wider, correct?
Yes, yes. What we are blessed with is Kelly coming on board with us, and she will describe what she's doing for us to bring all of these organizations together. And you really touch base on a wonderful topic, and that is there are veteran organizations that almost specialize in certain services. So what we want to do is make sure that there's something out there that the veteran can go to know this is their need, who do I go to? So Kelly would be one that could explain what her mission is.
So Kelly, what part do you play in the organization?
So what I do as an AmeriCorps Vista, I have my own project, and that is to identify all of the veteran service organizations in the Erie area and to open up those lines of communication so that they know who each other are, the veterans know who they are, and they can actually expand that umbrella through collaborations between them. Right now I'm working on a website, veteransportal.com, that puts that on an online format, but with Tina and Embracing Our Veterans, we're hoping to make a paper format as well.
Okay, so there'd be different ways that they're going to be able to reach different organizations.
Absolutely.
So that's what you're doing. You're doing the research and making contact with all these other organizations. Boy, I'll bet you're learning a lot as you're going through this, aren't you?
I am. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I will say that we are totally blessed to have her. We just knew that there were a lot of good organizations out there, but we didn't know what each other was doing. And now with Kelly on board, we're connecting and we're referring back and forth, and it's just amazing what's been done in the short period of time she's been with us.
So, and outreach. What type of outreach does Embracing Our Veterans do?
We do everything from haircuts to healthcare. The majority of our time the last couple of months, and I can't say it enough that I'm truly blessed to do this outreach, and that is homeless veterans. We are working with the VA homeless team.
All right.
And several of the individuals that we're working now actually lived in buildings that now are being knocked down. So we had to scurry and hurry to find places for the veterans, and we supply them with the needs that they need on a daily basis. Their furniture, right down to clothes and whatever they would need to have a good quality of life.
Kelly, I want to ask you, how do you find these different organizations? How do you research and know that a particular organization is going to be a fit for Embracing Our Veterans?
So I began with Embracing Our Veterans contacts, and I worked closely with PA Soldiers and Sailors Home.
All right.
Using their contacts, and I was able to get in with a new veterans group, the Vibe group, which is based on a similar goal of getting all the organizations together. So I've been able to network through them, network through the website that I've taken over from Jay Brenneman.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these contacts just come together and they give me more contacts, and it's just one big long chain.
Well, I think it's wonderful, because I think that's the most important part of a successful organization, to be able to network and know where to direct someone if they call you, if they get in touch with you. Where do I go? What do I do?
Exactly.
Now, okay, this brings me to a question. Who qualifies for these services?
Any veteran that has been honorably discharged from the service. We also extend some of these services to the families as well. So an example would be we have a Hearing for Hero program that's extended out to the spouse of the veteran. When we go in and do any modifications to the home, it also extends out to the veteran and his or her family.
Okay, what are some of the different programs, because you have a lot, that you have in place that you work with these veterans?
Yes, ma'am. We are very proud to connect ourselves with the Sight Center. They have been on board with us to supply glasses for those veterans that are in that gray area. So
right.
Not all veterans qualify for the VA service, and they're unbelievably wonderful at the VA, but not all veterans qualify. So we fit that gray area of need.
Oh, okay. So this, I think, and that's another thing I do want to stress, your organization, and I had mentioned it at the beginning, works with the veterans who would not be able to go through traditional means.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot.
Is there really?
Yes.
Isn't that something? I know you work with hearing.
Yes.
You help them get hearing aids, and the Sight Center. What other areas are you going to help them with?
Okay, so not only, again, the health end, but we work very close with the Home Depot, and I have to give Doug a big kudos. If it wasn't that Home Depot stepped out for us, we are working on 4 families in the Union City area that have homes that are in desperate need of remodeling. Some of them with mold issues, some of them with foundation issues. And Embracing Our Veterans and the team at Home Depot came together to help them, so from the ground up.
So it isn't just health care.
It is
And
not.
that's funny, because when you start thinking of help for our veterans, you think of health care. Immediately, that's where my mind goes to, like the VA, where they need tests and they need surgery. they've got a lot of other issues that you're working with, huh?
Food, beds. You just would not believe how many of our veterans have the shirts on their backs. And again, they don't know where to go. They don't know how to outreach for themselves. And I met with a gentleman last night, and he said something that really touched my heart. And he said, you know, I served my time to defend our country. I just want that support back. And again, the VA does a wonderful job. They really do.
Right, they do.
They do a wonderful job. But to get housing, people are losing jobs. This gentleman lost his job, and he was behind on his rent. He was behind on utilities. So we stepped in and we help out with that food and try to help out with bills that are going behind. We had another gentleman that came to us and with a strong efforts on Kelly's part as well. He was going to lose his home to back taxes. So we called and we made arrangements for him, supported him, and actually Kelly, I do believe, even took him to the bank to start a bank account for auto deductions. So let me say this, Judy, there's nothing that we want to say no to. If there's a need, we will address it. And we are so blessed to work with Boots on Ground. We are very blessed to work with Veteran Miracle Network. They're wonderful organizations, and we want to hold each other's hands. So we're really not in competition.
No.
We really want to work together to help our veterans. That's our goal.
Kelly, coming on board with this, how has this impacted you? I heard Tina mention that you took one of the veterans to the bank. So you're having contact with veterans. How has this impacted you and given your vision in seeing things differently with veterans?
It's definitely been a change. I got involved with veterans through the Soldiers and Sailors Home, so I was working with a residential population, very settled in group, and working with these vets that are on the brink of having nothing, like the man that was going to lose his house, just kind of drives home the need that's out there. You don't think of these men out sleeping in their cars, you think of them at home, and it's sad that some of them don't have that home. So
you are actually getting to see a true realistic on the streets type of view of what some of our veterans are facing, right?
Yes.
Well, boy, we're glad you're here.
Yes, so we're blessed to have her. Definitely.
Yes, yes.
Definitely.
Now, what areas do you serve? Are you just here in Erie County?
Now, actually, we are in Erie and Crawford County.
All right.
And Kim Lenling, co-founder, takes care of the Crawford area, and I am in the Erie area.
Okay. Now, in these areas, are you seeing equal amount of need, or does one sort of outweigh the other?
You know, Judy, that's amazing that you asked that. Actually, Crawford is a very well supported in giving. And we noticed that there's more need in the Erie area. So,
there?
And just think about that again. We're shaking hands with another community. We're working together to help our veterans. So Crawford is very generous in donations, and Erie is very needy to take the donations and use them. And Crawford's excited about it. Just about a month ago, we had a volunteer follow the Pay It Forward van, and she did it for months. And finally, she pulled the right card, and we were given a check. So the dedication on our volunteers are just amazing. For months, she followed that van. So we were so happy to get that check.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you too. How are you funded? How do you get your money?
Okay, so we fundraise. We do not, at this point, get any major grants. We solely depend on donations.
All right.
And donation, not only monetary, Judy, but we also ask if there are people out there that are moving that have garage sales, and they have dressers and end tables and things that are gently used or even new that they would like to donate, they can call us, because then those donations are directly given to the veterans. And all donations that are made stay in the Erie and Crawford area. We do not get paid. So Kim and I are volunteers as well as our team. So all of that money goes directly to our veterans.
That is good to know, because I think that's so important. Like any of our viewers, if they want to give a donation, they want to know it's staying right here at home, and it's helping someone that you've met, or you've come in contact with. So I think that's really important. And your staff, do you have a big staff?
We have a small office staff, but we have a lot of outreach volunteers. And when I say that, I'm including businesses as well. We had a need of a veteran that was displaced. Again, one of our local motels was sold, and he had no place to go. And he was having surgery. To make a very long story short, I called a major business in Erie, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention it or not, but that business opened up one of their hotels to this man and gave him a room until we found him a place, and also provided food for him at no charge. So our community is wonderful for support. So do they work for us daily? No, but I know that I can call on them and they would be there for us.
So you are seeing a lot of community participation and, volunteers.
Yes. Yes, we could always use more, Judy.
I was just going to, I know what
we can always use more.
Yeah.
We need the guys with the muscles. So definitely would never ever say no to volunteers. And again, Kelly, the area of volunteers, she's phenomenal. She placed us on a site where you can actually go on and volunteer.
Mm-hmm. Get connected.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, so you're in Get Connected. You also have a Facebook page.
We do.
All right, and you just have to type in "Embracing Our Veterans."
Correct.
Because I was checking out the Facebook, and you have a website.
We do.
So that's very, very helpful to get a little bit more information. Okay, to volunteer, other than having some muscle, what other qualifications?
You know what?
Maybe I don't have a lot of muscle. Will you find a place for me?
Of course. We have things that, from putting labels on envelopes to asking people that know how to crochet and knit to make blankets. So we can give them to veterans, sorting out boxes of stuff that are donated. We can always find something for people to do with our organization, definitely.
Organizations usually have goals. Now, for the coming year, 2017, what goals do you have? What are in your sights?
Well, one of my main goals in 2017 is being able to, it's kind of funny, go near a bridge and not see our veterans and underneath it in a box.
Aww.
I would love to see in 2017 that every veteran in Erie, Crawford County have a place to call home and have the things that you and I sometimes take for granted, from a couch to necessities, toothbrushes, toothpaste, that they wouldn't have that need, that we would supply that for them.
Mm-hmm. And Kelly, we know in 2017, you're going to find hundreds more organizations to get on board, right?
Hopefully, that would be wonderful.
Now, fundraisers. Do you guys have, you said you have fundraisers. Do you have some annual fundraisers that people can maybe check out on Facebook and keep an eye out for?
Yes. Actually, we have a bracelet fundraiser that is ongoing, and you could see that both on Facebook and our website. We also have daffins that we sell throughout the year. And then we usually have 2 major fundraisers, and Kelly will tell you about the one that she is helping with.
Okay, all right, this will be interesting. What do you got? What do you got going for us here, Kelly?
So right now we're having a gun raffle.
Okay.
It's a calendar raffle, so you buy a ticket, they're $20 per ticket, and that'll get you a chance for 25 guns.
Really?
Really, we're auctioning off, or raffling off more, 1 gun per day up until Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
And on Thanksgiving Day, the winner gets 2 guns.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now, is that something new?
That is.
Okay. So hopefully that's going to be like an annual event type thing.
We would love to.
How exciting. How exciting. But I like that you have the candy. Everybody likes candy.
Yes.
And tell me about this bracelet.
Okay, so the bracelet that I wear every day, it doesn't matter if it matches my outfit or not, will identify each branch of the service and our American flag and some very important places in the United States are on here. Statue of Liberty.
This is a beautiful bracelet. I'm going to have to check it out because, of course, I don't like bracelets or anything.
So I do wear mine daily, and it's a reminder that what I'm doing and who I'm doing it for. It's a daily reminder.
Well, I think you're doing a great job. I really like the fact that someone can call you. And first off, I think that first call is the most difficult because they're asking for help. And you have a very prideful group of people that really, they just don't want to have to ask for help. It's very difficult.
You're right. You're right. They don't want to
Right.
because they feel that, believe it or not, they feel like they don't deserve it. And what we try to put across to them is they served us. Allow us to serve them. And sometimes it's very challenging.
And I'm sure you have seen, both of you, seen success stories.
Yes.
Tell me, we're towards the end of the show, but I just love to hear these heartwarming success stories.
Okay, so our very first outreach with Embracing Our Veterans was with a veteran that was wheelchair bound. He lost his leg, and he was not allowed to go back home unless there was a ramp there. And the family really could not afford to put a ramp on. So our outreach was, again, to Home Depot, who supplied all of the materials. And then one of our local contractors came out and actually put the fixed ramp in. But until then, and he really wanted to get home, we had a team of 5 volunteers that day that put up a portable ramp for the man so he could get home in time for the holidays last year. So it was a very touching story. And when he got home, we videotaped him, and the first thing he said is, "I promise I will give it back to you." He wants to do something for Embracing Our Veterans. So it's amazing. It was truly success. He got to be home with his family during the holidays. So it's an amazing and wonderful outlook, for him.
It is. It is. And you know what? You're telling this story, but I could probably guarantee every veteran that you have touched their lives, you just made them feel good about themselves or their family. You gave them hope. So I think it's wonderful. I really do, because there are so many little things. Like I look at your list here, and it's just amazing, people. It's haircuts, dental, hearing, hospice, in-home health care. They don't know where to turn to go for any of this. For a haircut, for heaven's sakes.
And a lot of our military do not realize that there's an aid and attendance benefit that they may qualify for as well. So we help them out. We will walk them through getting to the right place to get what they need.
Okay. We really are at the end, but another thing I want to talk about, and I just want to touch on it for a minute or so, is music for veterans. That's something new that you have in place. And boy, music is healing.
It is.
And it just makes everybody feel so much better with themselves. So that's another program. Viewers, you've got to give them a call. If you know of anyone you think may be able to benefit from their services, you have to give them a call. I have to thank you, ladies.
Thank
Tina,
you.
thank you so much for coming on board. Kelly, it is great to have you be a part of this organization. I mean, it's really, really important, and I thank you for what you're doing.
Judy, thank you for allowing us to be on your show.
My pleasure. My pleasure. But viewers, again, check out their website. Check out Facebook. They always have continuing information going. Find out about this fundraisers that they have. Give them a call. And again, if you or someone that you know can benefit from their services, please reach out. They'd love to hear from you. Thank you for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.